Now, this is one way to move people from one place to another, even though it might prove a little slow, but many do find it a wonderful trip into the nostalgic past. This trip is provided by Avis Rent-A-Car. An exciting trip into the prehistoric past is provided by Ford Motor Company in an open convertible. From caveman days, the rider is taken into the city of the future, riding on a super skyway past towering metal spires and glittering dome buildings. Narration in the language of your choice by selection on the push-button car radio. General Motors utilizes the individual chair on the moving belt system with stereophonic sound, taking you on a fascinating close-up look at the future, with such everyday things as lunar commuting, Antarctic ice ports, and vacation resorts under the sea, complete with private submarines for two. In the static display, 3 experimental cars and 5 dream kitchens are shown. Wouldn't this be a handy way to work on the family car? Just lift off the body and everything is in plain sight to go to work on. Many of the exhibitors, particularly those to do with industrial science, are looking to the future in their exhibits, the future of outer space. GM is no exception. Believe it or not, this conglomeration is a zoo, or so the Chrysler people would have you believe. A zoo of mental monsters, all made of car parts. That thingamabob in the background, I believe, is supposed to be the zookeeper. Seen here is a much more realistic moon surface, which covers the roof of the Transportation and Travel Pavilion. In the foreground is more zoo. Several firms having to do with transportation and travel exhibit under this roof. In one of several theaters in the building, United Airlines shows an unusual motion picture produced by Saul Bass demonstrating the wonders of jet flight at 600 miles per hour. Going the other way, the Navy shows an atomic submarine cruising under Arctic ice, and a live underwater sea drama is put on by skin divers in a huge tank a la Lloyd Bridges. No matter how you go, somewhere along the way you are going to be on wheels and rubber tires. Of any size, they say, but this is getting ridiculous. Actually, this is a king-size Ferris wheel. Down there, boy. These transportation people seem to have a phobia from linking the past with the present and future. And they have a point, for as Sinclair points out, it is from the residue of the prehistoric past that we get our petroleum to get around now, and for molding the products of the future. You know, I'm sort of glad we waited a while before coming along in this world, but it does sort of make me wonder, how will we look to the people who will be here 100,000 years from now? I beg your pardon. One change taking place right now over the sphere, whipping through space and time, is the form of rapid transit, the business of taking a large group of people from one point to another in a hurry. One form of this making a bid for appeal is the monorail. Oddly enough, this one is not located in the transportation area, but in, or I should say, over the amusement section. By this time, a bit of rest and relaxation is in order, and believe it or not, here is the place for it. 4 elegantly upholstered gondolas rise majestically on cables to the top of a 120-foot tower. Here you are away from the noise and bustle, very slowly moving around the tower, getting a wide panorama of the fairgrounds. Looking down, you can see one of the more unique attractions of the amusement area, the log flume ride. John Ringling North's Continental Circus is brought to the United States for the first time at the fair. It is a one-ring European-style circus offering animal acts, acrobats, equestrian performers, a museum, and all the wonderful hoopla of the typical big tent show. Behind this rather plain frontage is an aggregation of nearly 250 authentically dressed lifelike figures in 48 tableaus, valued at $2 million. From the past is presented the scene of Moses and the Ten Commandments. I'm not quite sure what Frédéric Chopin has on his mind here, but an expression bodes a rather wild composition coming up. Then it could be he just looked out the window and saw Lady Godiva riding down the street. Ah, me. Coming to the present, we see the drama, the pathos. Here we have the patient's best friend, wishing him luck, but keeping an eye on that dedicated nurse, preparing the patient for the kind administrations of Dr. Kildare. Dr. Kildare? Nurses? Is that a slight smile on Johnny Carson's face as he says goodbye to Steve Allen, who doesn't seem to be in a very good position to smile at the moment? Anybody hungry? Cheapest full dinner at the fair, compliments of the Chung King people for only 99 cents. We could cover all the entertainment available here, such as the Florida Porpoise Show or the Hawaii Restaurant of the 5 Volcanoes. But mention should be made of Texas' contribution to the fair, the 90-minute stage spectacular To Broadway with Love. This is one of the greatest live entertainment shows of the fair, and well worth the seeing.